And welcome to Action Dyne VR. My name is Matt, and we are talking about one of my favorites, Elven Assassin. This is a terrific game because it is so good for new people to VR, people that haven't yet established their motion comfort level, because it's just great for a very low, like, motion comfort tolerant person, I guess, is the best way I can describe it. So all the movement is teleport based, and you're really just only moving to these little locations. As much as you would want to just kind of go wherever you want to go, you are limited to the teleport points, those glowing like circles that you see there, and you go there simply by shooting an arrow into it. That's it. There's no crazy controls to figure out. You're just doing a bow and arrow action. That's it. You don't really do anything else with the trigger other than gripping the bow and your trigger finger to pull it on the string, and that's it. So it does feel very natural to control it. That part of it is super easy, and you'll probably notice my crazy shooting style. I have a rapid fire style, which I read is controversial, but I only use it when I'm playing with friends because I don't really play a lot with people I don't know. Um, but the arrows do have, you can see me pulling up like a little spell thing. So the joystick up, down, left, or right while you're pulling your arrow back to activate it into like a spell arrow, which these are things you unlock as you progress through the game. Now, while I am showing you a multiplayer game footage, the game does have a single player mode. And let's actually get into a little more of the stats on this one. And I'm back. The stats for this one. This one is rated with comfortable. I totally 100% agree. This is great for any range of comfort level people. Yeah, we've been through that. Um, let's see what else we've got here. This is single player, multiplayer, and co-op. See, the thing is multiplayer, the single player and co-op, they're both kind of doing the same maps. Um, but then multiplayer has its own specific maps that are a bit smaller, and they have one of them's really huge, but they have a lot more like spots that you can jump around to. And that one, even if you're not totally into playing a game where you're shooting at your friends, if you're in a game with your friends, that one still can be kind of fun because you're peeking down. And so, like, I don't know, I think any skill level can have a good time in there, in the multiplayer part, for even a little bit. Even if it's not normally your thing, you might want to give that a try. It's more fun than you would expect. Um, they're saying it only supports standing uh, game mode, but I play it sitting. You can totally play it sitting. So the one thing you have to consider when playing it sitting is, like, you look down, you can see like the guardrails coming up, like they're a little bit higher up, and so you have to deal with that when you're shooting down. You're going to end up hitting those railings. So where you're shooting from becomes a little more important because of like how high do the little guardrails come up, because they can be in your way. But those same guardrails can also help block you when an orc is throwing an axe at you. So I don't know the best strategy, but you can play it sitting. I do. I have no problems whatsoever And there's like literally nothing like crazy that would trigger any kind of motion discomfort whatsoever. I mean, you can't really do any sort of moving around. The only real thing we would see is like ducking. And I mentioned the orcs throwing an axe, and that's really what we're talking about. There's also, when you hear the axes coming, and you have to duck, which is harder to do when you're sitting, by the way. So, let's get into our next little segment here, which is all about wall punch risk. Now, wall punch risk is pretty important because we don't want to hurt anyone else. We don't want to damage our things or ourselves. What would I rate this one with wall punch risk? I would actually say I actually have hurt myself playing this one. I'm going to give this one a medium. Even though I know this is a beginner's game, if you do really get into it, and you don't mind like moving around in your play space, you could end up, because you're kind of going like this. Maybe you could argue it's a low. I don't know. It's somewhere in between those two. You can really get into it, when you're really trying to take out that big orc, the big giant, which is cool, by the way. There's like these, in some of the levels, these big giants show up, and they're really creepy. One of them, bigger one, throws a rock at you, a boulder. Ugh, it's crazy. But what'll protect you from the boulders is this awesome wall punch risk shirt, available on actiondyneindustries.com/store. It won't actually protect you from boulders, but it's awesome. So yeah, I definitely recommend this game. I don't know if it's like graphically it's not the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but it does the job. It's so easy to learn, it's easy to get into, and really no one's going to be excluded as far as their like motion comfort level. It's sells for $19.99. This is definitely a recommended for low motion comfort. What a good game. This will give you like sore shoulders. I don't know if I have a button for that one. I probably don't, but you will. When I play, my shoulders will be sore like the next day, because you are doing a lot of movement. It's not like a game where your arms are just resting in your lap. It is definitely more of a if you carry on through several waves. I think I made it to 78 or something like that. And at that point, like, your headset's about to die. You got to plug it in, and you're getting tired. Your arms are feeling heavy, and it's like, it's funny because you're not even carrying an actual bow. It's just the weight of a VR controller, and you're complaining about it. But still, what I'm telling you is there's physical activity involved with this game. You're gonna be moving around. You'll get some exercise. But yeah, it is a ton of fun. And I've played this game with several people as being their first like multiplayer experience, and it's usually easy enough to kind of like guide them through, even if it's like one of their first times in VR. This is a good one to bring up. So that's all I have for that. I thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.